Well, chit chat, Kit Kats, and great morning. I hope everyone's having a wonderful morning this morning. Now, I just was over visiting Tim Giddens' site. If you're not familiar, he's on this channel. And today he does have a channel over there. And today he was sharing a lovely book about Yeshua ben Joseph, or Jesus, or the Christ. And it's what I have been saying for years about, when you pass, you go with others of like consciousness. This is not some man sitting on a throne that's judging you, etc. You can only go with how high your consciousness is and vibration it is. So those that are pedophiles, etc., go with what? Others of like consciousness, other pedophiles, etc. Serial killers go with what? Other serial killers, basically, those of a low vibration, and they have no one to feed on there. So that is a hell realm, but they are not being judged in a hell realm by God, okay? They are there by their own actions, own proclivities, own consciousness, okay? So, yeah. So anyway, those of you that are, basically nominally great people, okay, have your foibles, whatever, okay, you go to a different realm. There are so many realms and levels and layers, but you can only proceed and be in the place where your consciousness is. Nobody can go to a higher level than what their consciousness is, because it would be like what we see now with more light coming in. Those of the lower vibration are what? They're wigging out, okay, because they can't take the light. The darkness does not understand the light, okay? And so it's very irritating to them. And so that's a lot of the stuff we see now going on. They are just freaking out for their existence because they don't comprehend somebody that's not out for themselves. They don't comprehend that there are people that are loving and compassionate, okay? So that's why we see this great parting that's happening now in the world. So anyway, if you're interested in the book, visit Tim Giddens' site. It's Giddins, Giddens, and he will share the title of that book in his latest video. And if you're interested in actually what Yeshua ben Joseph came to say, it appears to be a great book. Now, I haven't read it. I've had these teachings for a long, long time. Like I said, when you get to realization, all this is known like that. It's just boom. There's a shift in consciousness, and you know exactly what the religious persuasions are trying to teach and what's at the heart and the core of it. Okay. And yes, Yeshua came to be a reformer. He came to teach spirituality. All people had was the letter of the law. They had religiosity. He came to give spirituality, which is a much higher step than religiosity. Religiosity is there to contain, to box in people into do's and don'ts. But Yeshua came to say, if you are coming from a heart of love, you don't have to worry about the 10 commandments, do's and don'ts of religiosity, because you'll always be doing the right thing anyway. Well, for the most part, okay? But That's what he came. He didn't come to condemn people. He came to enlighten them, to get them to a higher level of wisdom and understanding, and to let go of these oppressions of religiosity. Okay? He said, I didn't come to do away with the law. I came to fulfill it. And what's the fulfillment? If you come from a heart of love, all of these dramas they're putting out, you're not going to be abusing any of them. Okay? You'll be going with the natural flow of the universe, etc., and you'll be on a higher path. So he came as a reformer to Judaism. He came as a light. He came as a spiritual adept in order to teach people. So, you can't beat that. VA's telling me yet again another appointment. You have yet another appointment coming up. Don't miss it. So as you can hear, my voice is getting better day by day. It's not back to where it was by any means yet. It still has some weakness when I talk. It's a bit of an effort still to talk. So you can hear like a bit of hoarseness, but it is coming back. Thank goodness. And for those on my site, I have some people say they're going in for thyroidectomies, they're going in for surgery, etc., and we wish them the best. And, again, the first couple days are really rough because of the breathing tube that they have down your throat. It can be quite irritating. But it does get better day by day. But just make sure if you're going in for surgery and you have the breathing tube, and especially when you're having thyroidectomy and they're working on this area, make sure you have things that are soft that you can eat when you come out. Because my first day swallowing, I'm telling you, was difficult. It was very painful. Couldn't swallow. And they didn't really have liquids and stuff for me. So get yourself a really good bone broth, etc. Have some of that. They will give you Tylenol. Is it Tylenol? Ibuprofen. And that's the best. The ibuprofen, when you come out, they may give you a Oxycontin, oxycodone, but actually ibuprofen works much better because it aids in getting rid of the inflammation that's going on. And I think it just works better for the pain than does Oxycontin, oxycodone, okay? So some doctors may send you home with Oxycontin, oxycodone. I personally don't recommend it, but each to their own. I found that the ibuprofen worked much better to reduce inflammation, etc. So don't forget, just take it easy. Your first couple days are going to be the hardest, and then it just gets better day by day by day, okay? In about 2 weeks, you'll be healed up enough you can take a bath, and that should be pretty well healed. It's going to take some time for the scar to go away, and you may feel lumps, like you could still see swelling here, some lumps, but eventually that goes away as well. So you just deal with it day by day by day. But it does get better. And for those that are worried about maybe you might have cancer, the one good thing about it is it doesn't easily spread from the throat area. So it's more easily contained than other areas in the body when it comes to spreading. So try. I know it's when you don't know if you have cancer or not, it can be challenging, but try to relax as much as you can, and because it is more easily contained there and cured and cleared up than it is in other places in the physical form, okay? But I'm not going to lie and say it's easy breezy the day you come out. Like I said, I couldn't swallow. The only thing I could swallow, what they had there. Now, if I were home, I would have been okay because I had Jell-O, I had pudding, I had, bone broth. I had all those things here. But they kept me overnight at the hospital because I drove myself there and I drove myself home. So they wouldn't let me go the day of surgery. So they kept me and tortured me there for an extra day. Why do I say tortured? Because they just didn't give the foods that you could actually eat, okay? And they kept the IVs in, and which are uncomfortable and pretty miserable. And every hour or two, they come in and want to do your blood pressure, etc., and do other tests. And so, that's why I say they kept me there to torture me for another day. Although I have to say, all of the nurses were quite lovely. They were, just very caring people. And so that part of it was fine. But, it does take time to recuperate from it. But the worst thing, like I said, for me, being a singer and stuff, I can't sing now, okay? I don't know how long it's going to take for my voice to come back. And I've heard it can take upwards of a year for it to come back. So that's a bit of torturous for me. Because that's my natural proclivity, is to want to sing. And there is absolutely no way, no shape, no form. I have a lot of compassion now for people that wish they could sing and can't carry a tune in a bucket. Oh, God. That's what it feels like now. If I try to do a scale, oh, forget it. It is not happening. These vocal cords are not cooperating at all. So anyway, do the best you can and treat yourself well. Just kind of chillax, and take it step by step. And it will rectify, okay? It will get better as one goes day by day. Having my coffee this morning. So I did get up early and I took my thyroid medication, and then the other one that I bought, the Thyroxtem. And thank you for the person that let me know that they got the Thyroxtem and it's helping them. I am so happy to hear that. So I got up early and I take those with water and then wait about half an hour, 45 minutes, and then I can now have my coffee. So all good. Anyway, looking to see what's on the net today. Of course, 45 is telling, he's such a great advisor. And he's telling Fox, just go out there and the best thing you can do is continue to lie. When you go in there for this defamation thing, when it comes to the voting machines and stuff, just tell them, yes, that it was stolen. So that's his brilliant advice for Fox today. What an idiot. Oh my God. He is just running such a clown show. And then he's asking, of course, to delay the trials again. And the judge is going, because he says, oh, it's such a media circus. Well, clown, you're the one that's doing it. So the judge says, there's no way. Okay, I know what you're up to. That's all you do every time. Try to find some way to bamboozle the courts and keep putting it back, putting it back, putting it back. But that's not going to happen here. You are going to trial. And in fact, I think the one trial, the defamation is on the day that they just got a hold of me and said, you got to go to the doctors. So, I want to be here to see it. Anyway, looking forward to that when he actually has to be in court, and I hope we get to see it. But it was so great when he was in court the last time with E. Jean Carroll things, and he couldn't tell. He said, oh, I would never be attracted to her. Would never. And then he confuses her with his wife, Marla Maples, and his lawyer is saying, no, that's not your wife. That's E. Jean Carroll. What a maroon. So funny. Him and his clown show. I would never be attracted to her. Oh, wait a minute. That's E. Jean Carroll. That's not your wife. That's and his lawyer's trying to get him to shut up. Such an idiot. And then we see that his wife now, she lives in a totally different area of this. Good thing they live in a large thing and not a little 2-bedroom apartment. Then she'd have to actually look at this face in the morning. But they live in a large enough space that each has their own, area, and he still employs her. We'll just put it that way. Because that's what it is. He's paying for her services just to hang on his arm as a piece of eye candy, quote unquote, that he can tell these guys, look what I've got. Look at what the man I am. Well, yeah, but he can't get any closer to her than the other wing of the home. And he has to give her extra goodies in order just to be seen with him any longer. So I think she's just continuing to make arrangements with him as to how often she'll be seen with him and under what circumstances. Oh my goodness. Her and her, oh my goodness. But anyway, she was introduced to him through who? Epstein. Okay, Epstein. So we know what sort of a lovely, upstanding person she is, with all her naked photos out there and things that, she was trying to do. So we'll have to see what happens with this. She's just waiting to abandon ship. But I'm sure she's just trying to squirrel away whatever she can squirrel away before the ship sinks, okay? And as long as she's living in a different... Now, I think if they were in a small place and she couldn't get away from him, like she's got a totally different wing of the residence there, as she doesn't really have to see him or engage with him. If she actually had to engage with him, it would have been over a long time ago. Okay. Now, yesterday, what was fun, I did see Edna, Dame Edna, and she was on there with Ivana. And actually, she was on, and I haven't seen this one yet, but she was on with Trump and Ivana when they were married. Dame Edna, Trump, and Ivana. I've got to see that one. I just, I love the sarcasm and the things of Dame Edna. So funny. In a way, she can be, kind of cluelessly rude, but so hysterical at the same time. And everybody loves her. Everybody wanted to be on her show because she's just so funny. And you know what I saw with him? When he is not Dame Edna, he's a very sober person. In well, I don't want to say real life, but yes. And Dame Edna is really, he morphs into a different personality, a totally different personality from what he is, and it gives him license to open up and expand and be something other than what he is. So this is a great thing for him. He totally goes into a different persona. So how, he's still around, but as I understand, he had maybe fallen and had to have a hip replacement or something late. But I don't think he can actually fully give up Dame Edna, because this is his expansion. And he goes into a totally different consciousness than he is as Barry Humphries. Okay? So Barry Humphries is a totally different personality than is Dame Edna. Okay? Dame Edna is truly an alter ego for Barry Humphries. And so free and so, as Dame Edna, he can get away with saying anything that he could never do as Barry Humphries. And then he's got the other persona that he does. I forget the name of what he calls him, but as a really corrupt Australian politician that's just randy and just, he's so disgusting. Disgustingly sexual with everything. And that's another compartment of one. But I don't enjoy that character as much as I do of Dame Edna. Dame Edna is just feisty and funny and just off the wall. Now I would love to have a tea time with Dame Edna, because that personality is just fun. Okay, that I would enjoy. Now spending time with him as Barry Humphries would be interesting, but he's not funny like he is when he's Dame Edna. He's very sober, very kind of locked in as a person. But when he metamorphs into Dame Edna, it's a totally different thing, and he becomes very free within himself. And you just, have to enjoy that persona. It's so funny. Now, I have tried to find out what is the name of the girl that was playing Valmai. Vilmai or Valmai, his daughter. We know the other one was that was playing his sidekick, that had passed. We have her real name, this actress. And she said the way she avoided laughing was she would always think of something else whenever he was talking to her, so she didn't break character, you know. But the other one, I cannot find the name of the one that played Vilmite. I think that's her name, and on there playing the daughter. And she's also a fun character. Just the look she gives people throughout the whole thing. She comes out and slaps the name tag on them. They're like, but for some reason, I cannot find the name of her anywhere. Now, I did find the name of an actress that I guess when he was one, but she's very nice looking and stuff. It's not the one that played the original Velma. So if anybody knows the name of the person that was playing Vilma, the daughter, especially it was during the segments of the spa treatments. It was so funny when he was doing the spa treatment things that everybody in the audience had to wear a spa thing. Even the band was wearing the spa. Oh my goodness. So funny. So anyway, on that note, I'm going to leave this here, and we'll see you online. And thanks for tuning in and all the lovely, lovely comments. I do so appreciate it. And I hope everyone is living their best lives. You know, break out, do something a little crazy. You know, just enjoy it. Have your little fluted glass with your sparkling water, or do your makeup, your crazy thing, you know. Like I said, I started this in order to support the drag community and the transgender community, etc., you know, because they have been getting so much flack. So, and I don't know, I got the book about, what is it, this other entertainer, Danny LaRue, and I started it, but the very beginning of it is, I don't like the person that's writing it for him, the ghostwriter or whatever, because it says here that women would absolutely hate when a man does drag. Well, that's not true at all, okay? So I don't like the person that's putting this together for him. And it's not true. It's an art form, okay? It's an art form. So that to think that women would be so angry at it is just absolutely ridiculous. So far, I have to say I'm very disappointed in the beginning of the book. And that Danny LaRue was a bit I don't know, just his outlook on doing drag. He would try to, it appears, just kind of backpedal stuff. I don't know. I'll have to read some more of it, but the beginning of it is not stellar. I guess because he felt a lot of judgment about it, etc. But, you know, it's an art form. It's an art form. So celebrate it for what it is. I think it's takes a lot of talent to be able to create that makeup and the persona that they do. And there are so many different types of of drag. We see some that are now coming out that are beautiful drag, and then we see some that are like the frumpy housewife, or we see some that are more, almost alien looking. So there are so many different aspects of it coming out now, and all of it is basically performance art, okay? Taking the female persona and then, twisting it into all sorts of craziness. And so you just have to enjoy it for what it is. I don't understand why people get so judgmental about it when, just see it as an art form, okay? It's a talent to be able to do that. And for some people, it's freeing. I think for some, it can create an alter ego. For some, it's just performance. And for some, it actually does create, like Dame Edna, a totally different alter ego in which they can go out and be freed up in other ways than they are in their daily lives. So I'll leave that here. So if we ever have any drag performers that check in here, I'd love to hear your view on it. Anyway, on that note, I'm going to leave this here. So thanks for tuning in, Kit Kats, and we'll see you online.